Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie. I am the mom in the family of 5, hence the name FiveFindFreedom. About 2 years ago, we decided to sell our belongings and move into a travel trailer. Now we're in our second travel trailer. We downsized. But the point of this video is what to do when things just don't work out in regards to homeschooling. Let's say you've done hours and hours of research, played the price game where you play musical websites to find out which website has the best deal, including shipping and handling, all that jazz. And let's say you're a month into the new school year and you realize the perfect curriculum is not working out quite as planned. What do? Do you plow through it and hope for the best and just let's hope the tears just stop eventually? Or let's hope that thing just clicks in their head eventually. Is that what you do? Oh, there's another option. What about you just throw it out and buy something else, hoping that will work? But wait, what if the thing that you buy next is just as bad as the thing that you have? What do you do? All right, before you go out and spend money on something else, let me share with you what I did this week. Now, before I go in and go in and into detail, words are hard. Let me just say that because this is what I did and it's what's working for me this week, does not mean that's what's going to work for you. So this is just one way to do things, my way, for this child during this week. So my youngest is almost 8. Give you a little bit of backstory. My youngest is almost 8. And he's able to read chapter books. And he's able to write his name, write complete sentences. And his handwriting is pretty legible for an almost 8-year-old boy. And, we realized that even though he can do these things along with advanced for his age math, there are things he needs to work on. So, for example, yes, he can read chapter books and he can read the words and understand the words. But he has difficulty taking those words that he hears and writes them down and spells them on his own. He has difficulty blending letters together to make certain blending sounds, like the C and H for ch, or the TR for tree, for example. He is also able to do double-digit multiplication, but he doesn't understand place value. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is to let you all know who's watching this, you are not alone. Not everyone progresses the same rate. Not everyone that's going to be excelling in one area doesn't mean they're going to excel in all areas. And it doesn't mean that you're stuck with what you have. So my husband and I, we talked about it and we decided he's going to take a couple of steps back and go back to the basics. What does this mean? What do the basics mean? Well, for example, we feel he needs to review his addition and subtraction math facts so that he can get faster at them and memorize them. Not really faster, but just memorize them. He has no problem with those multiplication facts up to like 6 or 7, but then sometimes he has problems after that. We're going to have him practice place value. And we've also decided we're going to have him go back to 2nd grade level phonics to help him with blending. And we're also going to review all the spelling rules with the spelling curriculum. But wait, what is that? Won't all that review cost money? Luckily, I am the queen of a good sale, and bonus if I can find it for free. So for math, I copied down math facts from this website called mathdrills.com. I'll put it down in the description, but it's math-drills.com. It has all different kinds, all the way from like 1 + 1 = 2 worksheets, all the way up to like algebra and trigonometry and geometry. So in a perfect world, I would just pull it up and print it out and have them do the worksheet. But we don't have a printer anymore. I burned out the last printer that we had about 4 years ago, give or take. And so I make use of my pretty colored pens and our endless supply of spiral bound notebooks that we have. And I wrote it down by hand. I am also planning on drawing a place value chart for him to practice And for phonics, he does have a grades 1, 2, 3 phonics review from School Zone Publishing, and he's working on that, and that's doing good. But I also know that he's going to need to do spelling rules and work on phonics in other ways other than just fill in the blank on paper. So, I love that word. It's my favorite word ever. My book I'm writing, I write so many times. Right, so there it is again. Have you ever heard of a website curriculum called MobyMax? It's for kindergarten to 8th grade, and it's completely free to use. There is a paid version that gives you access to like progress reports and some other features, but for us, it works out well. You sign up for like a teacher account as a homeschool, and a lot of the charter schools use MobyMax as well. And then your student child, however you want to call them at this point, takes a placement test for the reading level, and then placement test for a language, all the different subject placement tests. So today we had Jackson do the reading placement test to see where his reading level is at, which is a 3.3, which is the same as saying 3rd grade, 3rd month, which is great because he's in 2nd grade, 2nd month. So he's a whole year ahead in reading level than he is typically would be in public school. So the next one was a language placement test. The language placement test went over things like noun and verb and how to use a verb and use it in present tense or past tense, things like that. So, and he was really good at, and I was sitting next to him, just keeping an eye on him while I wrote down notes of what I was going to talk about in this video. And there's a lot of diagramming. Like he had to put in blank, like this word is a verb, this verb is the clause, this verb is the pronoun. He was doing pretty good. There's a few questions he had. He asked what the idiom was, and he asked what standard form was. No, formal language, what that was. So I just told him to do the best he can. So after about 45 minutes of the test, and the test on MobyMax, the placement test, it starts at the beginning, like kindergarten beginning, and it keeps on going up until they get enough wrong, and then they end it. His language arts skill placement test, which is like grammar, punctuation, things like that, is 5th grade, 6 months. So either A, he's really, really good at guessing, or B, he is really that advanced in understanding grammar. So that's what we did today. Now, we used to use MobyMax in the past, but we just found other things that work better for other 2 girls that are older than him. But it's always good to go back to what you used before. If it works, it works. So Jack will be doing a few other subjects on MobyMax. Like he'll be doing social studies, science, phonics, like word blending, and like reading for information and reading for comprehension, those type of things. And he'll be doing more language skills as well. I also have him be doing practice writing grammar and punctuation on paper, because after all, he is 7.5, almost 8, and I feel like he needs to be writing more than just staring at a computer screen all day long. And even though he'll be doing more than one subject on MobyMax, he'll not be doing all the subjects on MobyMax all in one day, because I feel that's a lot of screen time for anyone to do at a young age. So, all that to say, the only thing we plan on buying is a spelling book and a different math book. We're going to have to do some searching and seeing what we can find. We might just buy him like a spelling workbook type thing from like Barnes & Noble or something. And as far as math book, we'll just see how it goes. You know, we could have just said, never mind, we're just not doing math or spelling until after the holidays. But he's at an age where I feel like there's enough free resources out there in internet free resource land that I could pull it up and just handwrite it down on paper, and it works out well. So for now, as we try to decide which one to buy, there's nothing wrong with finding free resources and making them work. So if you ever find that yourself in a similar situation, There is an insane amount of free resources online, and you could just make up your own worksheets or print out what you need, or just focus on what you think your child needs to review until you get to a point where you can get a new book. And the bonus side is that when your child gets to the point where he's to the level where you thought he was going to be now in the future, such as Jackson, he has a 4th grade math book, and he's able to do a lot of it except for some of the terminology and applying the math to certain situations he's not so great at, and place value. So I know that I can set it aside, because he's only done 1 chapter, set it aside, and then later on when he is to that point again, we can just pull it back out without ever having to spend any more money on that. Jeez, this lighting is horrible. Is this better or not? We'll see. I don't know. Alright, so I hope that this video was helpful in that you are not alone. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back, nothing wrong with taking a couple of levels back, nothing wrong with having your child review while you try to figure out where to go next. And if all else fails, just ask a fellow, a friend who's also homeschooling, or get in contact with a homeschool support group, or Facebook homeschool groups are excellent for this sort of thing. But for me right now, he is my 3rd child that I've homeschooled, so I kind of feel like I know where to find the stuff that I would need to pull open to write down for him. In the meantime, I think that's it. That's all I had to say in this video I thought of last night to film. Once again, thank you for stopping by. If you like this video and want to see more of these videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I do not have like a schedule up of when I will be posting videos. I hope to get that figured out in the next couple of weeks. So in the meantime, just hit the subscribe bell notification, so that way whenever I do have a video, it can pop up and you can view it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, feel free to pop it in the comments down below. I'd love to connect with you in the comments. In the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your day.